Alright boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, winter is here, and what a better way to start it off than bringing out the Undying Colossus build. Not invincible, but undying. This is the ultimate fortress. Builds like this is one of those things that reminds me why Colossus is better than every other javelin, why everyone else is also trash, and why I'm glad that we don't have PvP, because God knows going against the Interceptor will be like going against Hunters in Destiny. But anyways, let's get started. This is Ragnarok, the end of everything. The focus of this build is going to be armor, extra armor, and more armor, and the next focus is going to be combo and melee damage. This is because we are going to be wrecking a lot of stuff. This build right here, some of you probably are using a version of it, but today we're going to be talking about how to do it right. The Colossus has a very good right hand, and we want to use it for something useful because it is able to get the job done. So starting with the survivability, I like to add up the extra armor that I get and also look at the percentage bonus of armor. The first one is going to be the armor numbers that doesn't require you to perform a specific action. So this is something that we're talking about. Hey, you don't have to hit enemies to get this extra armor. You just have it right there. So this is going to be the raw armor stats from components. Remember that these are all additive, but altogether we end up with a total of 58,030 raw armor and 26,234 raw shields. So when we add the combined armor percentage buffs that we also get from certain inscriptions, we have 21%, 80%, 90%, and that is a total of 191%, which is an extra armor that stacks on your base armor that we get after adding all these extra armor mods. So you want to be looking at those percentage buffs because those are also going to be really important. Now if you decided to use an armor sigil, you are looking at a bonus of 221% total armor stacked on top of this build, and that is really good. Some of you will have much higher numbers because of course you might have better RNG than I do, but it is also important to look at the raw numbers first, then look at the percentage later. Each Colossus health bar or armor bar is worth around 400 armor points, so if you combine all this, you have more armor bars than you can count. And I went into free play to see if I can count it, but God knows I couldn't count the amount that shows up, and I don't know the base armor that the Colossus comes with to begin with. I don't know if it is just a base 1000 or a base 10,000, but if you guys know it, let me know down below in the comment section. Now in my inscription, you will notice that I have softened blows, and of course that is going to be to cushion a death blow from enemies so I don't just die after every single hit. But I also have demolition's tribute, which will give me back 20% of my health if I kill enemies with my melee ability. This mod also gives your shields 300% damage when you run into targets with your shield on. So this is very important. You can get health back from just running over enemies and killing them with your melee ability. And this also synergizes well with the next mod that I'm going to talk about, Bloodlust. A lot of us know Bloodlust. A lot of you who use Interceptor, you know that this is a powerhouse of a component. And this is also one of the things that makes it really perfect for the Colossus as well. Because this component also increases your melee damage, on my detonator I am using Blast Defense, which will also give me back 35% of my armor. And this roll that I have has an extra charge, so I'm looking at a guaranteed 70% of my total armor back every time I hit enemies with my blast defense. So we are looking at ways to get at least 90% of our health back, because you're looking at that 20% that you get from Demolition's Tribute, and you're looking at this 70% that you get from blast defense. That is really good. You're looking at some really high numbers when it comes to toughness, and you're also looking at some really high numbers when it comes to survivability and getting your health back. We are using the shock freeze combo, so we freeze enemies and then we detonate them with the blast defense, or we detonate them with the melee ability. So if you detonate with your melee or use your assault launcher, you will get some armor back regardless because of all these components that we have. So this is what makes this build really powerful. You have a tough skin, and you also have ways to regenerate health like I have mentioned earlier, making your Colossus a self-sufficient javelin. Now, one last part. you gotta use the sigils, people. Sigils are very important. If you're not using sigils, you are doing your other squad mates a disadvantage. So please use your sigils. Right now, I am using melee damage sigils, armor sigils, and gear recharge sigils. Those three will give me 30% extra damage to my current stats. And if you don't like the gear recharge one, you can replace it with a combo sigil, and that is really good. You basically turn into a walking missile. Like, that is how crazy you are. So right here, we will walk into a Grandmaster 3 Legendary mission to test out this build. And as you can see right here, it is just amazing. It is incredible. Throughout the entire mission, from the very first to the very end, I didn't even go down for any single time. And you also have to learn to watch your health bar so that you know when to activate and use certain abilities. If you have a full health bar, it is pointless to keep on using your assault launcher because you want to save those charges for when you need it the most. And of course, if you have your ultimate ready, make sure that you cast your ultimate if you feel like you're about to die, because that will also replenish your entire health pool. So this is very important, and this is a really amazing build. Look at it. Go ahead, let me know if you guys have ever tried this kind of build before, or if you run with something similar to this. Thanks for watching. It's DA signing out. I'll see you Colossus in the next one.